What's up, everybody? Tom Pelissero here with Phil Mackey shortly after the Minnesota Twins lose to Kansas City 10-5. All right, Phil, sloppy performance. It's a Sunday game, day game. Sometimes that happens, but 4 series wins in as many chances for the Twins so far. It's tough to argue with that.
Correct. It's always tough when you lose the 3rd game of the series because you win 2 and you want to keep the momentum going against a bad team. But ultimately, big picture, Twins are 9-4 right now. Yes, Pavano got lit up a little bit. Nick Blackburn got lit up a little bit. But Pavano's track record, he's going to go a few times and give up 7 or 8 earned runs within a season. So you kind of have to just take that with a grain of salt. Ultimately, the offense is clicking. The bullpen is pitching well outside of Crane and Mijares right now. So big picture, all good for the Twins right now.
6 games into Target Field, and we've seen some of the quirks of the ballpark come out. We had a ball that came out very hard off the backstop the other day, and a guy ends up getting thrown out because of it. Also, a ball today gets hit off the limestone in right field, which we'd all been wondering what's exactly going to happen. And Michael Kadire had an interesting explanation on that.
Right. If you remember the play, Kadire went back to the fence, and the fence is actually made up of 3 different components. Number 1, the limestone up on top. Number 2, the wooden panel, which separates the limestone from the 3rd element, which is the padded wall. It's just a standard padded wall. And Kadire said, as you saw, anything hit off of that limestone on top ricochets back to the infield. If the ball hits off of the green painted wood, it dies and falls right back to the warning track. So Denard Span and Orlando Hudson are both instructed to run out to help Kadire in right field if anything is supposed to be ricocheting off that limestone. And we're sitting here behind the visitors' dugout, so we're looking right at it. And it's going to be tough for Orlando Hudson if he has to be having his head on a swivel worrying about whether or not the ball's ricocheting off the limestone or if he has to cover a base somewhere. But that's just the quirks of a new ballpark, I guess.
2 weeks into the season, the Twins now are 9-4. Anything else really jump out at you at this point?
Yeah, Denard Span, Orlando Hudson, they started the season really, I don't want to say sluggish, but they weren't doing their job. They weren't getting on base. But right now, after this homestand so far through the first 6 games, both of them getting on base for the season at a 350 clip or above. Span is more like 370 or 380 right now on base percentage. So both guys are getting on base. You've got the middle of the order still having some problems with runners in scoring position, but ultimately, if Span and Hudson are going to hit like they have this week at the top of the order and get on base that often, this offense is really going to keep churning.
Phil, press box or section 13 here?
Well, actually, I think
you've actually. Did you finish off the Primo?
No,
or
there's
the Miller Lite?
There's some Miller Lite left in here, but this is really disgusting.
This is pretty comfortable though. He's Phil. I'm Tom. See you. It's good.
That's awesome.
Just ad lib.